This video is brought to you by my new book, The Boy Without Magic, available in both ebook and paperback. Links in the description.
We pay the cost.
Well, this was quite the surprise. I can't say I immediately gravitated to this game right away, and honestly checked it out because it was cheap and I couldn't go anywhere thanks to the coronavirus. This is despite me loving the XCOM reboot and its expansion while also lavishing 2 in tongue baths. But once I jumped in, I ended up loving XCOM Chimera Squad, a neat surprise spin-off to the prior Firaxis games. Is it perfect or reinvent the wheel? No, but what it does do is experiment with some new ideas to try and shake up the usual turn-based paradigm and give us a creative experience. One of the biggest shakeups is the larger focus on story and characters. Taking place after the events of 2, XCOM is now trying to rebuild the world with humanity now living alongside the aliens left behind when their leaders were defeated. Chimera Squad is a specialist unit consisting of not just humans but also aliens, sent to try and help maintain law and order in City 31 following the assassination of the mayor while investigating her death. A solid setup that moves the universe forward, but nothing to really write home about. In spite of the increased focus on the story, it is fairly sparse, but that's not a huge issue since these games aren't the type you play for their riveting storytelling, but it does mean a trademark of the series is lost: unit customization. Instead of custom soldiers, we now have set characters with personalities and specializations, replacing classes, and a good effort did go into making each character unique. It's a shame though that most of their dialogue is lame. In between missions, you're treated to newscasts and advertisements, giving you a wider view of the state of the world as well as banter between the units. Most of what they have to say is either uninteresting or just cringy attempts at humour, and with the story's sparse state, it also means there's little room for noticeable character development. The one exception to this is the character the internet has been raving about: Torque, the snake waifu. She's a likeable, action, tough chick character who gets the bulk of the dialogue that doesn't suck, so if you're wondering why she's so popular, that's why. The best I can say about this new direction for the series storytelling is that it's earnest, however the changes to gameplay came out way better.
Done.
One of the biggest changes was to how turns are handled. Rather than moving your units on your turn, the game uses an order system, just like the one from Final Fantasy X, where you're told the order which of your units can move first and which enemies will move next. This is a great addition, and it really got me weighing my choices and strategy before making a move than the old system did, especially when one of my units was incapacitated and couldn't fight. Combat as well is now much smaller in scale to go with the fact that you're now controlling an elite SWAT team, so battles are fought inside large rooms or enclosed areas rather than a full-scale battlefield. This goes with missions being also broken up into encounter sequences and the combat having a much faster pace, so every mission feels bite-sized and quick without sacrificing the just one more turn mindset these games usually pull you into. The encounter setup also ties into a new addition, the breaching system, where you decide where or how Chimera Squad enters the next encounter, and these can have a real effect on the flow of combat, dishing out advantages and disadvantages, with some points being only accessible if a character has a specific breaching item on them, or some are only accessible to certain characters unless you've researched a certain accessory. This gives the player a serious reason other than character specialization to not only think about the breaching order, but also squad makeup and loadout. I'm not a fan of the art direction though. The colour scheme in this game is a lot brighter than the prior games, which had darker schemes that helped drive home that these were dark times and you were fighting a serious threat. The brighter palette and contrast underplays the seriousness of Chimera Squad's task. It can be argued it's brighter because it's more stable times, but when everything is bright and clean, even in the more industrial or urban maps, the idea of containing anarchy can't help but feel miles away. The illustrations aren't great either. Used for cinematics and dialogue, they look amateurish, as if they were made by a second or first year illustration student, and make the characters look less appealing compared to their in-game models.
Powerful enough to kill Mayor Nightingale. Grey Phoenix has the means. Find out if they had the motive.
The game also suffers from some technical hiccups that can really hurt your time with it. There are some times where, while an enemy attacks, the camera just freaks out, pans out too far at the wrong position, so you can't see which of your units is being attacked, let alone if they're hit or not. There's also not a great deal of unique maps, in that if you decide to spend a good deal grinding for the sake of researching, it won't take long for the same maps to start repeating themselves in the same mission types. A bigger issue is the game crashing, which happened to me in 2 different missions, either after moving a unit or just outright at random. At least, this can be avoided by loading a save and either hoping for the best or by skipping over the mission the crash shows up in. These ultimately are nitpicks, and with the exception of the crashing glitch I encountered, are something that can be either ignored or, if you're patient, be fixed with a patch in the near future. When it's all said and done, Chimera Squad is the spin-off that could. It's a neat experiment with positive results that shows there's room for spin-offs in XCOM's modern era, more so than the Bureau. And without realizing it, the devs at Firaxis achieved something I don't think any of them realized while working on it. They created the perfect template for a police quest revival. If Activision ever decide to bring that series back, this is the game they should be taking notes from. Hey, alright, thanks for checking out this review. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you really liked it, then by all means, please feel free to hit like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that, and that would also make you an awesome person. And you know what awesome people also do? They look forward to the next video, which is going to be a review of the movie Corona Zombies. I actually really enjoyed this movie, spoiler warning there. And for upcoming game reviews, I don't have anything planned at the moment. There are some games I'm interested in, like Folia and Control. I might take a look at them, but for now, nothing's set in stone. I've got all that and more coming up, so please stick around.